show you a few mobility exercises you can do without having to get up and down off the floor if you have bad knees, and to make it a little easier on your shoulders if you have had a shoulder injury or are recovering from a rotator cuff injury. So in the morning, it's great to just get limbered up and moving, especially after you've turned 50 or 60. So I'm on the floor, but you can pretend you're on your bed, okay? And then you don't have to get down on the floor. So the first thing I'm going to do is to move our spine. So the thoracic spine, I have a chair here because I'll be using that as well. So on your side, knees tucked up, one arm on the bed and the other on top. So we're just going to open up the arm all the way to the other side so the back of the hand touches the bed, and try to rotate. We're rotating the upper back so that we're trying to get both shoulder blades on the mattress. And your hand follows, or your eyes follow your hand. All right, so let's do it up to speed. You don't have to do this quickly. We're trying to get some rotation in our back. Trying to get that upper shoulder blade down onto the mattress if you can. And just start out maybe doing 6 repetitions on one side. And then you'd roll over and do 6 on the other side. All right, so that's for the upper back. And it's opening up your shoulders without putting too much rotation and having to lift them over your head. Another exercise you can do to loosen up your hips is just like alternating knee hugs. Now, if you're able to, you can extend one leg while you pull on the other. So mobility exercises are moving. They're not the type that we do after we finish exercising and we want to stretch and hold to lengthen out tight muscles. Right now, we're getting our joints limbered up and moving, our muscles warmed up to increase our mobility and ease of movement, reducing pain. Okay, so this is good for the hips. And a hip opener you can do on the bed is just putting your feet together and letting your knees open up, getting the hip joint opening side to center. Okay, you don't add any pressure, just let it relax into an open position and bring it up. Now, you can also do the hip rotation for the lumbar spine. You can drop one knee at a time and just roll to the side. Or if you have a fairly strong core and you're confident in bringing both knees up, you can bring both knees to one side, really rolling the hips, turning the lower, rotating through the lower lumbar spine. Exhale as you bring your knees down. Inhale, exhale. Again, you can drop one leg at a time to make it a little easier. You don't want to rush through any of these exercises. All right, so that's for the lumbar spine. All right, so now I'm going to get up and use the chair. If you're on your bed, you can do just sitting at the side of your bed, pretending this is now my bed. Let's loosen up our ankles. Always try to sit up nice and tall when you do anything. Extending a leg, you can rotate one ankle one direction, the other. Tight ankles will restrict your movement and make it harder to do squatting, even walking. So flex and point a little bit. It's good to keep the muscles and tendons around your ankles nice and flexible, and rotating your ankle one direction. Your ankles give you a lot of stability when you're walking, helping prevent falls if they're strong, so you want to keep them nice and limber so they move easily. All right, same thing for the hip joint. You can do a rotation. Better, easier done on a chair, I think, than a bed, where you're just circling your whole hip joint. Now this is working your muscles a little bit too. A little bit or a lot of it. All right, so that's a hip rotation, and you do both sides. And you might feel it in your abs as you're leaning back a bit. Okay, so we're gonna work our way up to our upper back again, and arms and shoulders. Things that you would normally do on a floor, like a cat-cow exercise, for instance, you can do leaning over your bed or chair. So then just arching up your back, and then bringing your back down, looking forward, letting your lower back sink in. I'm feeling a real stretch at the back of my legs, and then arching up and sinking down. So these don't have to be done on a floor. Another one that we can do standing up is thread the needle for your shoulder. So you take one arm through the other, and then so that's a back rotation. And then if you're able to bring your shoulder all the way up, that's a good one for back rotation, as well as opening up your shoulder. And you do both sides, bringing it through this way and opening out. Thread the needle, this is where we're threading, and opening up. Okay, so those are just a few examples of mobility exercises that you can do if you're unable or you find it more difficult to get up and down off the floor.